What's going on, y'all? BigRack Russ here, and today I want to talk about the Game Awards, specifically the announcement of The Witcher 4 at the Game Awards. So if you're unfamiliar with the Game Awards, essentially it's a big ceremony at the end of every single year for the past 10 years, in which all the gaming industry comes together to celebrate the best games of the year, handing out various awards such as Best Game of the Year, Best Action Game, Best Indie Game, Best Game Soundtrack, all these sort of awards. But it's not only cool to see which games win these awards, it's also a place where we typically see a lot of big game reveals, and one of those game reveals was The Witcher 4. Now, before I actually get into my thoughts and opinions about Witcher 4, I just want to talk about this bullshit conversation surrounding it. Now, I have had it up to here with these anti-woke, everything is woke DI garbage people, because 9 times out of 10 when somebody says I don't want this woke garbage in my game, they just don't want to see black people, a woman, a gay person, or any sort of minority in their game whatsoever, and they're using this word woke to distract from the fact that they're just prejudiced. This time they're calling The Witcher 4 woke DI garbage because we will be playing as Ciri as the main character. Not only are they saying The Witcher 4 is woke because they're forcing this woman down our throats, they're calling it woke because they somehow made Ciri uglier than the first game. Now, I'm gonna hold up a picture of Ciri in The Witcher 3, and I'm gonna hold up a picture of Ciri during the trailer. How did they make her uglier? You know what I'm saying? I know beauty is subjective, and you could prefer one character model over the other, but to sit here and say she's uglier now, this is how low we're going. Typically these woke people will have a better argument, but you're gonna sit here and try to convince me that they made Ciri ugly. This leads me to a whole nother thought that I had. Why the fuck do we care about how attractive a video game character looks? Some of you niggas are weird, man. I've never once played a game because the main character was attractive to me, bro. And I never played The Last of Us because I thought Joel was attractive. I never played The Witcher 3 because I thought Geralt was attractive. I never played Astrobot or Black Myth Wukong because I thought the monkey was attractive, bro. What are we actually talking about here? When have we ever set a standard where the video game character has to be hot or I'm not playing it? Come on, y'all. This is ridiculous, man. Even aside from that, she actually does not look bad. And this is coming from a guy that prefers black women, bro. So believe me when I say this, I think Ciri genuinely looks good. So I don't know what all the fuss is about, but instead of people talking about the cinematic, the story, the gameplay mechanics that might have been shown off a little bit in the cinematic trailer, this is the biggest conversation online because these anti-woke people have gone on a tear recently just calling everything woke at the Game Awards because there's a lot of female leads for a lot of these games. I personally don't care, bro. As long as the game is good, it doesn't matter. Again, their whole premise is it's not that we don't like diversity, it's that we just don't like it when it's forced, right? We just don't like it when it's forced diversity, right? This does not apply to The Witcher 4 because if you played The Witcher 3, it was almost like they set up Ciri to have her own story to the point where people thought there's gonna be her own DLC, maybe her own expansion. They did have DLC and expansion, but I'm not sure if it even centered around Ciri, but it was very clear that it was built up to Geralt passing the torch off to Ciri. Hell, even in the first hour of the game, you see Geralt training Ciri as a Witcher. A lot of you people crying woke about this game, or people that are just crying this is DI or forced woke bullshit, y'all are not real gamers, bro. Y'all don't play games. If you're calling this game forced, then you did not play The Witcher 3. Now, the only thing I will agree with some of these people on is that I thought it would have been cool as hell to play as your own Witcher, your own created character. But from what we've seen in the series so far, Witcher 1, 2, and 3, you're playing as Geralt the entire time. So the idea that they would just go away from the formula and have you play as somebody else or your own created character just wouldn't have made sense because it wouldn't have fit the universe. I thought it would have been cool, but I wasn't necessarily expecting that. It made sense, but it fits the story. Now, aside from all this, BS controversy, the trailer looked amazing. I mean, the textures, I know it's a cinematic trailer, so this might not be the actual gameplay footage, but just the cinematic trailer alone let me know that this game is going to be fire, bro. It looks amazing. But I do have a few things that I want fans of The Witcher to be cautious about, and I have a little bit of a bone to pick with CD Projekt Red. You see, I think the story is probably going to be amazing. That's the best part of the Witcher games. I kind of akin Witcher to The Last of Us. You're not playing The Last of Us for the gameplay, you're playing it for the story. I didn't like the story in The Last of Us Part 2, which is why I'll always continue to slander that game. But unlike The Last of Us, you're also playing The Witcher for the combat because The Witcher 3 was not only a really good like story-driven game with interesting side characters, choices throughout all dialogue, fully voice-acted side quests, and deep and interesting stories outside of the main plot, the combat was actually fairly decent and felt really good to play, with different spells, oils you could put on your weapon to prepare for slaying monsters or hunting down monsters. You legit felt like the Batman of the Monster Hunter like aspect of this game. Like, you know how Batman would like collect clues and like try to piece stuff together? Geralt kind of did the same thing when it came to monster tracking, and they really turned it up in The Witcher 3, and it was a great experience. The bone that I have to pick with CD Projekt Red is that they never released their games optimized. I don't know what it is with people suddenly having short-term memory loss when it comes to CD Projekt Red, but even though The Witcher 3 was a great game and is by far one of my favorite games of all time, it released a buggy mess. It was unoptimized. Even people with like the strongest cards at the time still had trouble like keeping this game above 60 frames per second. And then also Cyberpunk 2077 is a much better game today than it was at launch, but we got to stop acting like it was some perfect game the entire time, y'all. Like it was a buggy mess at launch. It was awful on console when it came out. It was awful on PC when it came out. And CD Projekt has a pedigree almost when it comes to like releasing their games as a buggy mess. So that's my only big gripe with the game. Now moving on to my second critique. Cinematic trailers are cool, but I really wish that, especially for a game like this, I really wish we got gameplay trailers like at least a week from when the cinematic trailer was revealed. Even though people are, you know, kind of shitting on Ubisoft right now, Assassin's Creed Shadows came out with gameplay like within like the same month or the same couple weeks as when they first like revealed the game. So hopefully, like, it's been a week since the Game Awards, because the Game Awards was like last week when they announced this. Hopefully get some gameplay trailer, because there are some mechanics that actually look pretty interesting. So the one point that I want to give the trailer and like what got me excited was, again, the whole monster slaying aspect. It's clear that Ciri's in the middle of some sort of side quest. It could be a main quest, we don't know, but she's tracking down a monster. She's, you know, figuring out what's going on. She's popping her potions, which have always kind of been like a mechanic in the Witcher games, or in The Witcher 3, I remember that. But there's also this chain that she uses during the trailer that she kind of lights on fire and uses it to assist her. Now, again, cinematic trailer, we don't know if this will be included as a game mechanic, but I think that'd be a really cool addition to your kit along with like your silver and steel sword. Now, my biggest question though when it comes to like the gameplay mechanics is, if you remember playing The Witcher 3, you'd have occasional flashbacks because Geralt is trying to pick up the trail of Ciri and figure out where she is, and occasionally throughout the game you'd play as Ciri, and she was like damn near OP. Like, she would teleport as she dodged because her bloodline is super strong. I wonder how that's gonna play out. I didn't see any of her supernatural abilities other than her Witcher abilities come out to play in the trailer, but I wonder if like she's gonna have a more advanced like skill tree of abilities, because playing with her in The Witcher 3 was so much fun, but it also felt kind of broken. So I'm curious to see how they balance it. And again, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm hating on The Witcher 4 or the trailer. I absolutely hate the dumbass discourse that I described earlier about, oh, Ciri looks ugly now. Ciri, like, I'm not here for all that shit. I'm here for the actual game, bruh. But I will say I'm very cautiously optimistic about this game. I'm excited for it, but I gotta see some gameplay, and I wonder what they're gonna do to kind of evolve the combat system, because I never played The Witcher 1 or 2, but fans of those games said the combat took a big jump in The Witcher 3. So I wonder if they're gonna like keep some of the core elements of The Witcher 3 and improve upon them further, or if we're gonna get like another combat overhaul. I'm curious, but at least I can say the trailer got me excited. But let's not act like CD Projekt Red doesn't have like this track record of releasing unfinished games. Like, I love that Cyberpunk 2077 and games like No Man's Sky are like running well, but when you pay $60 to now $70 for a game, it should work upon release. We should stop giving companies grace and be like, oh, they fixed the game now, guys, they didn't abandon it. It's like, yeah, they should have done that in the first place. So hopefully they get that right this time around. But hey, I'm excited for the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you excited for The Witcher 4? How do you feel about Ciri being the main protagonist? Was this something you saw coming? Were you like everybody else who actually played the game and saw this coming? Or are you part of the anti-woke crowd that was upset that Ciri was the main character? Or were you somebody who just wanted to make your own Witcher and thought that potentially that's what they're gonna do? Or were you like me, totally caught off guard, never knew they were working on The Witcher 4, didn't think a Witcher 4 was coming? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, and y'all have a blessed day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.